Lancaster, Carolina do Sul, se orgulha de ser a terra natal do presidente Andrew Jackson em 1767. Ela se desenvolveu nos idos de 1800 e virou uma cidadezinha rodeada de plantações. Hoje, Lancaster mantém sua natureza cortês mesmo após as sedes terem se tornado pousadas. Mas, por trás dessa calma hospitalidade sulista, algo bem diferente acontece. Numa fazenda de aparência inocente, uma família diz fotografar e conviver com fantasmas.
There is no doubt in my mind that there's something out here. You know, good or evil, there's something out here that's not in the realm of what you would call normal.
This farm was part of my dream. I run a rescue farm for abused animals, and it was like the perfect place. One too big, one too small, just right.
Mas, para a família Jackson, a fazenda foi ideal só por um tempinho. Antes das coisas começarem a complicar. Sobretudo, à noite.
When it gets dark, we don't have a normal life anymore. The really first strange thing that happened for me was I was woken up one night hearing a man's voice calling my name. I didn't say anything to the children because I didn't want to scare them.
Apesar disso, as crianças já estavam com medo. Elas também ouviram barulhos. E já dormiam com bíblias na cama para espantar os espíritos. Então, numa noite, Lynn diz que viu, horrorizada, a cama de sua filha Amber se mexer sem motivo.
I saw this, and she was laying in it. It wasn't like she was playing in it that caused it to do it, and her bed is a heavy bed, but it lifted straight up and dropped straight down, scared her to death.
Amber, de 13 anos, diz que viu outro espírito pouco tempo depois da cama se mexer.
I was standing outside with one of my mom's friends talking, and we looked over in the pasture, and there was a small white figure, like a childlike figure, real bright and white, and it looked like a little girl in a white dress. Well, they went after it, and when they got like halfway out in the pasture, it disappeared.
O marido de Lynn, Mark, não acreditou. Depois ele mesmo teve uma experiência.
I was lying in bed one night, and I was laying with my arms around my pillow like this, and something grabbed my pillow and pulled me across the bed. It wasn't a slow movement, it was a very quick, abrupt movement, which would have taken a man my size or bigger to move me like that, I think. I snapped completely awake, and there was nothing in the room with me.
A amiga dos Jackson, também residente em Lancaster, Penn Stevenson, acha que atropelou um fantasma ao sair da fazenda.
I hit somebody and they rolled over my hood. I was going down the road and they just appeared. The corner of the car caught them and you could hear the impact. It was a big thud. And they like skimmed the top front of the hood and gone over to the side of the road. And I crawled in the back seat of my car and I was looking to see if I could see anything. And there was nobody. I mean, I even called the police the next day to see if anybody had got hit, and they said no.
Além do mistério que ronda a fazenda, a família Jackson tem tirado centenas de fotos onde há orbes, esferas luminosas, flutuando, e que a família acha que são fantasmas.
There are some orbs that are called collectives, and the smaller ones are supposed to be like a housing for spirits, and the larger ones have more spirits in it.
Elas aparecem em várias cores, formas e tamanhos nas fotos tiradas à fazenda.
Sometimes we have black orbs, sometimes they're white. Then we've gotten solid orbs that you can't see through. I've heard that those are evil. They're not good.
As fotos também mostram imagens esfumaçadas.
The smoke images, now, sometimes you can see the smoke image before you take the picture. You can actually see the smoke kind of just floating around you. But when you take the picture, it's like completely different than what you're seeing. I mean, it's just huge, and it's so solid, like a tornado floating up off the ground. Some of them will have faces in them. Some of them will have the orbs in it.
Além de crer que espíritos assombram a fazenda, a família crê que sejam malignos. Pen acha que foi fisicamente marcada por uma aparição misteriosa.
Lynn told me to go get in the corner of the barn, and she would take pictures and see if anything was there.
I feel real bad.
I got an overwhelming sense of heat. I just started sweating. And then my chest started hurting.
Maybe you better come out. Come on out. Come out.
And it was like a tight, dense feeling. And when I exited the barn, I actually got sick.
Lynn levou Pen para a casa e fotografou as marcas no corpo dela.
And it was a big whelp running down the back of my neck. And then when they got to looking farther, there was a whelp that ran all the way around my throat. And it was standing out. It was a big whelp. And it wasn't the jewelry or anything that I was wearing because it was above the jewelry.
Some of the activity out here has been violent, and it seems like over the last year it's gotten more and more active out here, and something like this, you can't predict what's going to happen in the future, and that's just not a situation that I like to be in.
Lynn Jackson acha que há uma explicação sinistra para esse mistério que sua família diz estar vivendo.
There's talk that 100 years ago there was a church out here, and the rumor is that the headstones were moved, but not the bodies from the graveyard that was with the church. We believe that because the headstones were moved and the bodies were left behind, we think they're upset about that. We feel like they don't want us here, like we're walking on their graves. There's actually a dead man right here. This is like his chest area. This is his head.
Imaginação ou realidade, a família acha que sua segurança está ameaçada pelos espíritos que habitam a fazenda.
A halo-looking type.
There is evil out here that wants us out of here and will continue to escalate the harmful activity until they do force us to leave.
Lynn continua a tirar suas fotos assombradas sem saber direito o que está fotografando. As fotos provam a existência do sobrenatural em Lancaster, Carolina do Sul? Os Jacksons talvez nunca saibam.
One thing I do know is that the ghosts are not going to tear us apart. They may bring our spirits down, they may scare us, they may hurt us, but they're not going to pull my family apart. And we are going to get out of here and get the animals and children to another farm to where we can once again live the life that we used to have.